Let me ask you a quick question. Okay. Yeah, because that was so awesome. There's this small town feel where Candace is waving. I think Candace is the mayor of this city. Whether she self-elected, they elected her. No. There seems to be a trend. Everywhere we go, I see, hey John, how you doing? Mike, what's going on? Johnson, how are the kids? You know? Or I see Betty, who is dying to breaking her neck, to come and say hi to Candace. You've only been here for 2 years, Candace. I have to ask you this serious question. You moved to a new city. Now, I have the luxury of having a front row seat to watching Candace being the mayor of Southport in Chicago. Yeah, it's the truth. But there's something to be said about networking, connecting with people, getting to know people. There's something here. Yes. And I really want to talk about just, you came to a brand new city 4 hours away. No one knew you two.
No, we didn't know anybody.
We went out in the morning yesterday. 2 people tried to invite her to the Christmas party. She got people to reopen their store as we were walking by. Yes, the guy's locking up. It's nighttime. He was looking out the window. He's like, it's Candace. Let me open and talk to her. What's the secret, Candace?
Okay, so we were pretty intentional when we came here to this new town that we wanted to meet people and get involved. And so I'm a believer in community and a believer in, you should help and do what you can with what you've got or what you have available to you.
Let's just repeat that. You should do what you can
with what you've got, or what you have access to. It doesn't matter how big or how little. It's just a matter of doing something, right?
Yeah, because most people even today think that the only way to network or connect or meet people is online.
Yeah.
Or to do anything. Here, I think if Candace never touched the internet again, she'd still get reelected for mayor right here. No, it's the truth.
Yeah. I mean, because I think half this town doesn't even have they don't have websites. They don't know. They probably forgot their password on their email address. I don't know.
Yeah. So tell me, did you go to when you got her where you were like, okay, here I'm gonna join this, that, and the other?
Yes.
Did you just go and stand on the corner?
No, it was so for me, it was I love small businesses and so I started scheduling meetings. We did move here during the pandemic, so we had to wait a few months till people were comfortable getting together at the point where so it was probably maybe 6 months after we moved in. But I sent an email and scheduled coffee with the director of the Chamber of Commerce. I then had another coffee date with the director of economic development in the town. I then ended up going to lunch with a woman who's in charge of one of the community colleges here. And then she introduced me to the president of the community college, and they gave us a tour of the community college. And now I'm on the board of that community college, only because they're interested in exploring an entrepreneurial program. And they want my input involved.
Let's just stop there for a moment. I have to take off my glasses for this because Candace is on the board. Okay, she's on the board. Okay, I just don't want that to go anywhere. She's on the board.
Well, yes.
So
it was like small business was important, and then when we go to the restaurants or we go to the shops, just introducing ourselves, getting to know the owners, just saying hi, and we also threw a 4th of July party, so we made invitations and invited every one of our neighbors. Didn't matter if we knew them or not. It was like everybody got an invitation, and so then we got to meet people that way. And then
wait, let's pause.
Yeah,
Candace, how many people did you have at your 4th of July?
Well, the first year we had about 75 people, but it was also not just neighbors; it was neighbors and family and friends. Well, the reason it got so much is none of the family told me if they were coming or not. So I was like, well, we have a great view of these fireworks, so I'm going to invite our neighbors. All the neighbors came, and then all my family decided to come and not. So it was.
How did you invite the neighbors? You went to their door?
I went door to door and dropped invitations.
I went door to door and dropped invitations in my neighborhood.
Yes.
Listen to me. Do you understand this?
Which you can't do if you're selling something, but the mail ladies let you do it if it's invitation to a party.
So you put it in their mailbox.
Yeah.
Got it.
Wet Bandit.
Okay. Coffee coming through.
Wet Bandit.
Holiday themed.
What a
lattes. Okay.
Thank you so much.
And water. Yeah. So if you pull down that middle piece in the middle, Thank you.
Thank you, Mama.
Hold on.
I got this.
Yeah, pull that down.
Hold on, you have to wait because we got coffee coming.
Should come down. There we go.
Yeah, we're still here.
There we go.
I'm not putting this on.
Okay, we're out of your way. All
Thank
right.
you, Mama.
Okay. Feel that 24-degree weather.
Ah!
Okay.
I'm gonna get this.
here's-
Listen, I'm gonna get Candace to answer. Oh, this is the other one.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. Okay, so this is really important to me because I'm a big believer in small business, and a lot of times I get this question. I've gotten this question over the years. Tiffany, how in the past, in the present, how did you ... How did I build a 7-figure business? How did I start a company? How did I hire people? All these things. And I think people really believe that there's like a magic bullet kind of a thing. And one of the things that made Candace and I fast friends is when I met her, she had built a big 7-figure business as well, but she did it like I did, a little bit different, because Candace is super girl next door, so she's super friendly. And so she spent a little bit more time building the kind of relationship she's talking about, but we did the same thing. We left our homes.
Yeah, left home.
We went outside.
We weren't afraid to ask people out.
Ask people out.
Basically.
Literally.
I sent all those emails to say, hey, you're somebody that I feel like I should know. So do you have time to get coffee?
Yeah.
They can say no, but most of them say yes because they all want to also meet people in their communities who want to give back and get involved. Because they're dying for more support. All of them are.
They want to get involved. So I think the statement here, like literally, is get involved. Like everybody can do this today. You're talking about a couple of coffee, a couple of lunches, maybe $200.
Yeah, they hear your story. Not even. Yeah, I don't think we spent more than $5 to $10 each time we got together, you know. And then those people, if they like what value you can bring or experience you can bring or however you want to get involved, they, like I said, they're looking for people to help their initiatives, and so they may introduce you to other people and other programs in the city. So like all those meetings that led for me to be a mentor for a high school entrepreneurial program, which allowed me to meet other people. And I think you just have to, just like I said, ask people out, start figuring out who you want to talk to and ask them to coffee, and it opens doors.
And it opens doors. Okay, so we're gonna ask her a couple more questions because I know that success leaves clues, sure, but I also know that Candace is just brilliant. That is why she is one of the smartest people I have ever met. That is why she is worthy of being my best friend. She is brilliant, she is savvy, and she has all the answers because she does it herself. Now, I'm gonna ask her 3 more questions because this is so good.
Okay.
First question is, where do I start? So, how many people? Like, do I just reach out to 20 people? What do I do? Open up LinkedIn? Do I stand on the corner with a sign? That's the Miami in me. Is just trying to figure out, because there's nothing wrong with standing on the. Okay, but what do I do? How do I find out who? Do I make a target list?
Yes, I would say, well, first you'd have to think about, I guess, what the point is of you wanting to meet people is, and if it's for potential clients or if it's really about just networking with other important people in the town, in this example, you still have to figure out, like, well, who would be that person. And sometimes, I do think, like, reaching out to Office of Tour, again, depending on where you are, but there's places like Office of Tourism, Economic Development, City Council, maybe there's education, there might be charity organizations. You could start by probably just looking at your city websites and different offices, or I guess, like, kind of, you build your list, you kind of think about who are some departments or companies that I could connect with, and then
just start
building your list. And then I wouldn't go like send a bunch of people like, hey, do you want to get coffee? Start with who your priority is, and most people aren't going to be able to meet that week or even in 2 weeks. I've even found that in this little town, like sometimes it's a month out you're scheduling coffee. So just because people have meetings and they're busy and things like that. So
got it.
It's
So
just getting started.
Literally, I would say step number 1, Candace, I'm going to try and break this down. So Candace said to step number 1, I would go down the who's the who's controlling larger audiences or involved in larger audiences.
Who has some
influence, right? So she said economic and development. Every city in the U.S. and a lot of cities outside of the U.S. have some form of economic development office, director, team,
these
committee.
Are people, that company, or not company, but that office is trying to bring business to their towns. Like they're trying to help corporations find locations, or help a potential corporation work with the city to get some tax breaks or something. Or so like their whole job in economic development is to help a town thrive. Mm-hmm. So they want to meet people.
They want to meet people. Okay, so then second, she talked about things like, she didn't say she joined the chamber, but she did say she went and wanted to meet with the director.
I did join the chamber beforehand.
Okay, wait, so we joined the chamber.
Yes, I did join the chamber beforehand, but I don't know if that would have been a requirement, as they might want to meet with you anyway to just have coffee to have you become a potential member. But I again believe Chamber of Commerces are for the most part fairly inexpensive, unless you're in it, Phoenix.
Listen to me.
But Chicago was pretty cheap. It's really cheap in this little town I am. So I'm sure there are some towns it is very expensive. I told her to do this and it was pretty expensive where she was. But I still think it's worth trying.
I found an avenue in Phoenix that was like $525
for the year.
Yeah, for the year.
That's
reasonable.
It might seem like a lot of money up front if you don't have it, but spend that year, ask them if they can do a payment plan or whatever you need to do, but like get in there and start go to the networking events, attend things. Like you can, even if the person that you're meeting isn't your ideal client, you could ask them like how they found clients. Because then do they have anyone who might need your services? So like it's just about talking, it's really about getting to know people and staying top of mind, because people are going to refer their friends, and that's like it's all about who you know. Some people have got to know you. You can't be hidden.
I want to tell you something, because Candace is talking about getting clients, but I've had the luxury of watching her for almost a decade now. I'm going to tell you what it's really more about. It's actually about becoming a person of influence.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I actually want to shift this conversation from getting clients and customers, because yes, go meet people and go ask people to buy from you. But that's
become a person of influence.
Literally, you become a person of influence, because that's really what this is about. As I even get quiet and I think to myself about the memberships we have and things like that, Candace is right. Like, you can become a person of influence. Candace is the mayor of this city. I don't even work.
I am not.
She is. She is the
mayor did come to my 4th of July party.
Listen, how many people did you have at the second 4th of July party?
150.
She had 150 people.
And the mayor came and he brought deviled eggs.
And the mayor came and brought deviled eggs, and she's only lived here for 2 years. What are you talking about?
But I invited him. But a lot of people go, I wouldn't invite him, he won't come. Well, you know what? He did.
He did come. Yes.
And he had a great conversation with another employer in the town who happens to be my neighbor, and that they had got to have their moment together, which will be good for the town.
It'll be good for the town. And Candace sits at the center of it.
And then it's influence.
It's influence. I really want to highlight this word. It's influence. Become a person of influence. It's so much easier than you think. The other day, I bought a ticket. I shouldn't say the other day, but I bought a ticket to a birthday party for a woman who is the executive director of a large foundation. And some people, they will look at the ticket price. It was $250 per ticket. So you look at the ticket price and you're like, oh my God, I'm not going to spend that to go to eat dinner at such and such. But the kind of people that were there were literally the who's who of Phoenix.
I have a good story for you too on that one.
And what's wild is that one of the people who came up to me, they were asking, hey, this, that, and the other. And, a lot of times people look to, when they start this road, they think that they need to walk into like some high-rise version of themselves, when they really just need to present the human version. Mm-hmm. So the guy asked me a question, and he's Albert's there, and he asked me a question, and I'm like, hey, how are you doing, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, oh, you work at that hospital? Oh my God, that hospital saved my life this year. And he was like, what? And then I went into talking about my surgery. Mm-hmm. I was like, I got rushed to the hospital, this, that, and the other. I was like, those people are so nice. There's a guy there on the 3rd floor. So I'm telling him this story, and this guy is just staring at me wild-eyed, because I don't think he's used to the human version of talking in this room. Second, his next words were, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but we have an open position on our board, and
Yeah, that's where it goes. That's the thing. A lot of people need people for their boards.
Yes.
They do. And the minute they find someone that they really like and connect with, you're going to get an invitation.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think that what I've found about when I said Candace was the girl next door, here's the truth of the matter. She is the person who they want to give an invitation to.
Yeah.
Candace, 3 things that I can do to be the... Hold on, we can't show that because this... Because this is...
I'm trying to find the directions.
Okay, hold on. Let's look outside. Let's look outside.
I don't know if this is the right place.
How do I become a person who gets the invitation? What are 3 things I can do right now? Other than brush my teeth, look presentable.
Right. Sorry. 3 things to do what?
That I can do to become the person who gets invited.
Oh.
What are 3 things
Yeah,
I
I
can do
think
right
it's
now?
just, meeting people. Getting, which might mean getting out of your comfort zone, but it's just about getting to know them, caring, smiling, listening when you're in those opportunities. Even just like checking back in, or like, again, it's easy in this small town because we do run into people a lot, but going to different events, buying those tickets to things, even if it's spending $55 on the library's annual dinner, it's like you're just gonna go and meet some new people to put you at a big table. So 3 things, I don't know.
A 3rd one I would say is find a way to be of service.
Yeah.
Find a way to start helping, start giving.
I wasn't very clear on all of that. I apologize.
No, she was clear. I got it. You got it. Right? We're good. Okay. Find a way to be of service. Help. Be a part. Call.
Yeah.
Refer. Connect people.
Don't be a wallflower.
Don't be a wallflower. Oh my gosh. Anybody know what
If you buy a ticket, it's like...
What's a wallflower?
Right. So you shared the story about buying that ticket and going to something. I spent $1,200 on a ticket to a 2-day conference, plus an airline, plus a hotel. And it was a conference where all of the who's who in my industry were at. No clients of mine, but we share clients. But who's who where people are at. Get the ticket. The flights, I got the wrong ticket on the wrong flight. I almost missed the flight. The flights were delayed. I had to go to a different town. I had to rent a car and drive 3 hours to get to this thing.
Wow.
A lot of people would have given up, right? Go to this conference, don't know anybody. Come run into a couple people I did know, and they just wanted to sit at the table. They're forced to go by their companies. So they were sitting at the dinner tables, and I was like, no, I'm going to go work the room. Didn't know anybody. So I just stood up kind of by the bar at this networking thing, and then there was a guy in the room who looked really important. He was dressed well. People followed him around. I could tell he was somebody of influence. So it happened to walk by, and I saw the logo on his clothing, and it was a company that I used to be a customer of. So I went up to him while he was coming back from the bar with his drinks, and I just literally cut him off. I cut off his path of walking, and I said, "Hey, I am a former customer of yours." And he's like, "Oh, no, wait, why are you here?" And I told him what I was doing, and I literally was like, "This is what I'm doing." And he was like, "No way, they need your help so much, and that's great." And he's like, well, so now we're good friends, but he is a believer in the universe and destiny and all that. And he was like, "You were meant to stop in front of me." He's like, "Here's my cell phone. Now give me your cell phone number." Pulls out his cell phone, gives me his cell phone number. I still don't know who this guy is. I just feel like he's of somebody of influence.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting that vibe,
Yeah.
right? So then I walk back to my friends and tell them I just got Michael Baker's phone number. And they go, "You have Michael Baker's phone number? He's the most powerful man in this whole room." And I said, "Well, he wants to start doing business or whatever." So the next morning I got there was a text message with his vice presidents of his company all linked on it.
Stop.
That said, "This girl seems like she's what our clients need. You need to set up an appointment with her." So he instructed his VPs to meet with me. So then we met, and now what's happened, it's been a great relationship over the last few years, and it's been very rewarding. So, and it's gotten me a lot of business too, but not only that, it was the influence part. So the minute they, who are that company, who's very creditable, endorsed me, it automatically gave me some credit with people who've never heard of me before because of that relationship.
Yeah, that's wild.
And which, if I hadn't have paid that money, or if I had stayed a wallflower and sat at that dinner table, if I wouldn't have stepped in front of that guy, if I wouldn't have been intentional and strategic about looking for people of influence in the room.
And then but also she left her home
Yeah.
and was intentional
Yeah.
that she was going there, and she was going there to connect.
Yeah.
That was the game.
Yeah.
So then she went and connected. Come on, Candace. And we excited in these streets.
Yeah. So put yourself out there, become visible.
Put yourself out there, become visible. I think I have to end this here.
Yeah.
I think Candace just did a whole masterclass. You're welcome.